Wow, he put that.
Would you prefer? Let me see here. There we go. Here's another one.
You're so stupid!
Oh my gosh, he put that as the full screen logo popped up. Like, wow.
Well, I'm on a delay, so I don't know how big the delay is. So
Oh man,
I'm seeing the timing right now.
The timing is perfect. That's all you need to know. Unbelievable. He put. All right, so should I just do the Facebook page or just kind of consolidate the whole? Oh, T-Rex, are you familiar with the Destiny 2 direction that they might take?
Actually, I'm not. I did keep up with Destiny 2's leaks and stuff like that.
All right, so I will axe that one. But this is a topic that I'm kind of trying to refrain from taking too seriously. But here we go. New Gaming Order. I believe I'm a little late to the party, even like addressing this, but we try not to be too political on here. Back in the day when we were known as Newgamingorder, On Your Knees, and I used to do these characters where we would dress up as George Bush and Obama and do all kinds of silly stuff, you know. So
yeah, wear my masks, Alex. You have both my masks.
I think Anomaly has one, and I have to.
God damn it!
But I have the other. I have to.
So do you have the Obama or the Bush mask?
I think it's the Bush mask. I still have.
Ah, shit. All right. Yeah, I gotta go get a Trump mask now, but
I'm pretty sure they're sitting around, but you know, I'm just because he's so sensitive. I'm trying to be careful what's being said on here, and considering my affiliation with the Department of Defense, I'm just giving a disclaimer. This is just echoing of news. Again, I reiterate, echoing of news, and just because it's video game related, I just want to you know, just address some of potential concerns that could possibly happen, but there's no evidence to support anything as of yet because there's other things happening. So let's get this started. All right, so and my dog decides he wants to sit up during the podcast. This jerk. All right, so here we go. New Gaming Order.
Oh, so cute, Alex. Look at you holding your dog.
Yeah, he's being a bunghole. But New Gaming Order, this news has, it's a bit old because I was away on duty and I couldn't address it while I was in Fort Jackson.
That's from like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Didn't even catch that.
Yeah, so basically, the video game industry has been somewhat shaken by some of actions taken by the current administration. Now, we're being completely objective here, but I also want to cite that Event Hubs had a situation where they were actually posting news where the travel bans were imposed in certain fighting game community players were unable to travel for major tournaments and things of that nature. So being that it's been like put on hold, at least some of these folks are able to get to where they can get to. But you know, some of the decisions made do have an impact on the gaming industry, whether you know they're not. And right here, as it's titled, you know, and what that sidebar was pretty much, it was just like another avenue. But decisions made can possibly impose you know, import tariffs. So video game industry prepares for coming of possible trade tariffs. Now we already know that I guess with other countries, they do profit on, you know, their exports and the consuming of items like, you know, you got like PlayStation, you got Nintendo, and so on and so forth. And with if certain things do go into play, where like a campaign promise from now the president-elect, how could that change or affect the video gaming industry? Like, my first thing that popped into my mind is maybe, you know, prices going up or things not being as available as they once were. But it's just, you know, speculation. There's nothing to support it just yet. But, you know, I want to open the floor to On Your Knees And I know we were talking about this offline about like the fear mongering and trying to, folks trying to overdo.
Good way to steal my thunder there, Alex.
But, oh, you know what? Go right ahead. My bad.
It's all bullshit. Considering this is all news, but considering he just had a very good meeting with, was it Prime Minister Abe over from Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even the news now is still lying. Oh, his wife was alone. Yeah, his wife was with them the whole time. I mean, CNN could go fuck themselves. But anyway, so this is nonsense. We're going to have a very good relationship with Japan, and that's where most of the games are coming from anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would definitely hurt because Sony having movie rights and Blu-ray rights to certain things.
Sony's problem is making bullshit movies like the latest Ghostbusters. That's Sony's problem.
Well, I heard that it's better than Resident Evil Final Chapter though.
Well, if Sony keeps making shit movies, regardless if it's because of social justice or just bad directing / writing, they're gonna lose money. So that's their problem. But this whole thing, this is just more fear-mongering nonsense. Like, oh, how can we get these people on our side? Yet they don't realize most of the people that are gamers are already onto their bullshit because of Gamergate. So this is just nonsense. If you're buying stuff out of China, that could be a problem. I just recently bought. I mentioned this before. Icy's a Chinese-made game. It's very good.
Okay.
But most of the countries that we're going to probably have tariff wars with, they're not making games.
Okay. Now,
China and Mexico are the big offenders, so there's nothing to worry about there when it comes to gaming.
Okay, so let's play devil advocate. Let's say that does happen. You know what I mean? Like, just in general, you have UK studios, you have like places all over the world, but mainly Japan. But just in general, let's say anything outside of America and that's gaming oriented, that's trying to come to your soil, if there is a tariff that's imposed. And for those of you that don't know what a tariff is, it's like an import tax. In my country, the tariff is ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh. Like,
well, that's why in Brazil, like, what was it? Brazil charges like $2,000 for like a PS4 or something like that?
That's ridiculous. That's
exchange rates are at play there too, but that's also import tariff taxes.
Yeah, and it can get real corrupt down there. My country is like notorious for it, But let's say this does happen on your knees, whether it be digital or whatever. Like, what would be your stand then?
I'd be against it. I'm not going to be full hog for this guy. But when people, it comes down to, I'm trying to avoid the politics here. But
yeah.
When you're making up shit when you don't need to make up shit, that's a problem. Yeah. There's plenty of stuff to go after our president for. Yet they keep saying, oh, he's this, that, and the other. Go fuck yourself. You're losing people by overstating your arguments. The best way to lose a debate is overstate your argument.
This is true. This is true.
So it's just a matter of, and if there are tariffs, what it's going to be, like 10-15%, you might pay $5 or $10 extra bucks for your game, a couple bit more for the console, but you're just going to...
But consider the fact that the games have steadily increased in price over the years, and...
it's not that bad, though. What were NES cartridges in the 80s? They were like $50?
Yeah, and then they went
considering up to 60. They haven't... I don't even think they kept up with inflation, to be honest. I'd have to check it, but I think they're they're underpriced for where inflation's been.
And the only reason why I saw this as an interesting piece, like, again, it's speculation, and I left a disclaimer early on. I'm in this what if. Like, games have become expensive to purchase. And considering that, if, let's say, a tariff is imposed on these foreign games, it'll be kind of out of reach, and then thus, like, let's say we catastrophize it. It starts affecting the video game industry, and, America, being like one of the major consumer of games, studios can be forced to shut down. All kinds of things can occur, so...
And they can also come with workarounds, like a lot of these, Japanese companies, and other ones too. They have studios in the U.S. They could just say it's released by this one. And it's going to be much harder to manage import taxes on IP, intellectual property, which is what games are. Because you can print the discs here; it should be cheap enough.
This is true.
Manufacturing is going to be on the rise again. I don't think anyone can go against that statement. They could just start printing the stuff here. And how are you going to track the source of the original source of ones and zeros? Granted, I'm sure there's ways around it, but there'll be ways around the tariff too if such a thing were to happen. I'm pretty sure it's a non-issue for the most part.
Okay. T-Risk, what are your thoughts on just the speculation? Because I know Polygon was trying to reach out to CNN and representatives.
Hashtag fake news. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Well, I mean, it was once said of Fox News, but now it's like CNN has become...
the biggest problem with that was people who were claiming Fox News was biased were treating CNN as something unbiased, but news has been bullshit for decades.
Now the roles are reversed, pretty much.
Yeah, well, no, everyone's just keyed into everyone's being biased. So, one good thing about this election is everyone's keyed into how bullshit the media is, and hopefully they die a painful death, but we'll see what happens.
And this is why...
By the way, the thoughts and expressions stated by me on your Newsbeat do not necessarily reflect the organization known as Newgamingorder.
Yeah, he beat me to it. Thank you very much, sir. And
I'll record a professional one and just state it to have it on my soundbar.
And I plead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so. you want the 5th? God damn it, my fucking soundboard. I got too many sounds on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So with that being said, T-Rex, what are your thoughts on? If this happens to be something that is imposed, what do you think some negative or positive effects could happen as a result?
Well, you'll probably see Xboxes on the rise, and a lot of pirating.
That's what I was going to say too. It's going to be what happens in Australia. Australia, they pay double the price we do for games.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. They're like $100-something a game.
I'm not sure if this is still true now, but there's I forgot what piece of software, one of those big high-end like Office suites or something like that, one of those high-end programs that costs like $2,000 here.
Microsoft Office?
No, not Office, but it's something high-end that costs like $2,000 here. Yeah, something like that, like a high-end Adobe Photoshop or some shit. Yeah. It was cheaper for someone in Australia to buy a round-trip first-class ticket, stay in a 4-star hotel in the U.S., buy the product there, then fly it back.
Now that hurts businesses, man. Like how?
Because it was $2,000 in the U.S. and it was like $20,000 in Australia, something insane like that.
Yeah, I actually know somebody in Australia that has a friend that did that.
Yeah, I mean that's just because that's how bad it is there, and that's all the government. That's all a lot of government shit. There's no reason with digital distribution that shit has to cost that much.
All right.
Well, remember when digital distribution was supposed to be cheaper for people? Yeah, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah. It's like it's still the same price, Well,
the thing about digital distribution, at least with Steam, prices drop a lot faster.
That is true.
That's the good thing about it, because you don't have to. What was it? I bought something recently. It only had a month. It was already like half price. The fuck was it? Oh no, what was it? Deus Ex. I didn't buy it, but it was on sale, like 70% off the main game.
Okay.
And that just came out recently, a couple months ago. But it was on sale, I think, for the winter sale. What was that?
And that's Mankind Divided.
Yeah, the new one.
Okay.
All right. So after reviewing the article, the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
TPP's dead. Hooray!
Yeah. So, if let's say at a 10% tariff on imports, there's concerns that Nintendo Switch could be affected by that. But you see, if that were to go into play, it can actually be, fairly quickly. He can put that into effect, and it can lead to a trade war. But
there's no trade war with Japan happening.
Yeah, I mean, just in general. But the TPP, whoever falls under that partnership, that's something.
Well, that's something everyone else in the world wanted, except for us. Well, except for the smart people, I'd like to say.
Okay.
That thing was a clusterfuck. That was a mess. Even I don't know all the shit that was going on there. I know a few main points, but that thing was a disaster. It made the ACA look like a joke in terms of how big in scope it was. Like the Affordable Health Care Act was like a 1,200 page bill. This one is like 4,000 pages or something insane like that.
You know what? I need to do a political channel.
Yeah, this one it was a straight mess. And frankly, I don't know about a political channel because there's just too much shit to keep up with. Yeah. There's just too much.
Well, shout out to the Red Dragon for being able to do gaming and politics on there.
Yeah, there's just too much, and a lot of it's the fake news shit too. That's the worst part. You got because you can't. That's the you know.
But you know what? In fairness, just to play down the other side of the fence, you know, it's unless we see it or see the effects of it, you know, who's to say that, you know, now because folks keep trying to attack the man, that, you know, that news that's now being deemed as fake news is the real news, and we can't see the real from the fabricated.
Well, that's you know, they throw shit out all the time, but
yeah,
I'll try to keep this short. But it just comes down to that you cry wolf so many times, people just don't believe you anymore. And that's what it came down to. People are tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, but I would just say, you know, to anybody who might fall under that cry wolf thing, as a soldier, like I always just keep an open mind and then just keep my ears and eyes open, because you never know. Like, yeah, they can, all the smoke screens that are up and how things could, you know, potentially affect our love for the video game industry. Like, it just, until something is actually affected, then, you know, but this, again, it's all speculation. We just have to wait and see. Yeah, you know. But
just stop with the bullshit, because then when you bullshit too much, even when there's something we should be going against them, we're just going to tell you to go fuck yourself. That's what it comes down to.
Okay, with that being said,
that's just my opinion once again.
No, I got you. So we're gonna move on to
PSAs.
Yeah, ragging on. I'm not saying ragging on GameStop, but GameStop employees are not your friends, and this is not old news. This is 2 days.
This is ongoing. Oh, yes. This one. Oh, this is a new one.
Now,
what is this?
One of our staff members, actually 2, used to work for GameStop, and you know, this is not a new story, but it's an important one, as Polygon is relating to. You know, GameStop, we know their format is they profit off of the sales of used games and or bundles, where they try to get you to pre-order, buy used games. They don't want you to buy brand new single units within their stores, because they're not making anything off of it. You know, they almost make like a 98% profit. Like, actually, you might as well say 100%, because once the game is already been sold, and you know, they just recirculate it. Like, you know, the Ubisoft will probably make money off of the initial unit sale, but GameStop can like round robin that 10 or 20 times over and keep 100% of the profit. Ingenious system. But the problem was when everything from Funko Land, EB, freaking, you know, Toy and Game Land, all the major stores getting consolidated into one, GameStop hasn't been put into check or under regulation, you know, and they're running amok. You know, and that's why I agree with Microsoft and Sony taking things into their own hands and going through Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, or Steam. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it'll kind of keep GameStop in check for some of the stuff that they're doing. You know, and the killer, and Microsoft has been kind of hinting at this. If you can start trading in digital titles for like 35% or something like that, it's the end of GameStop. Believe me, I'm calling it. But I mean, as I go through this, on your knees, your thoughts. Like,
how the hell are you going to trade in digital games?
You give up your license. You give up your DRM license.
It's not going to be worth that much, though.
Well, it's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Because like the fact that you just cannot trade in digital games, it's you know, that's why, like, okay, Sunset Overdrive, I wish I could trade that in. I hate that game. Like, it doesn't speak to me. Like,
well, maybe the licenses were worth something, because you got a lot of the DRM nonsense, and unfortunately, unlike in Europe, where you can actually bequeath all your digital libraries in Europe.
Yeah, but they don't have that here.
Yeah, I know. So. That'd be nice to have, but I'm sorry. Where were we at? The whole nonsense with GameStop. Shit. Mm-hmm. Well, this isn't anything new, to be honest. We all knew that, you know, this is GameStop's MO, to make money, and frankly. It worked, like you said, it worked for a while. When there was competition, you got value for the games. Like, I remember I bought Rygar PS2. I thought the original was going to be in there. But, you know, it was Game Informer. Game Informer lied. I bought it on a Friday. I sold it on the following Monday, and I got, like, it's like I paid a $10 rental or a $5 rental. Bought it for $60, sold it for, like, $50 or $45.
Yeah.
So, That's back in the day, you could actually get a lot of money for new games because then they would only sell it for $5 less if it was used.
Yeah, yeah. I remember those days, man. Now it's all like jacked up, but because there's nobody to compete with GameStop, so
no, there is competition. It's called Craigslist.
well, Amazon.
What happened to FuncoLand?
They got
bought out.
They got
bought out.
EB, FuncoLand, they all got bought by GameStop.
Well, actually,
I know EB did, but
I think EB bought out GameStop, and then they just absorbed.
I think didn't FuncoLand hit Chapter 11, and then they got bought out at that point?
No. What happened is GameStop and EB started doing what FuncoLand was doing, and what can you do? There's more EBs and Funko or GameStops all over, and FuncoLand was like a small franchise, and they got choked out. So it's like either as Juggernaut would say, you either give it to me willingly, I'm gonna take it. I want it, or whatever. And then they ended up getting absorbed.
They had a motherfucking rape party's what they had.
That's pretty much what happened. But considering that, I'm not gonna go into the sore details of some of the workers, but I've heard some testimonies where it's just not a good place to work. They're being forced to get upsell customers. Yeah, upsell. Like, the
upsell
pressure
is the fucking worst. It is the fucking
and
worst.
The fact that the employees are under that kind of pressure, not even personal trainers are under that type of quota.
It wouldn't be so bad if they make commission. I don't think they make commission, do they?
No.
And they make shit pay too. They probably make just barely above minimum wage.
Like at $10, $12.
What is minimum wage now? Like $8, $7?
It's like 8 or 7.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. I don't think they're making $10. They're probably making like $9 an hour.
$8.50. I mean, not $8.50. Like $7.50 or like $8.25.
Yeah,
and the trade-in value for GameStop really sucks, man. Like, I remember if you had EB and GameStop, like, they were competing to get your game or get your dollar.
Yeah,
now it's just GameStop. But you know what's funny? Now that Best Buy started doing the trade-ins and such, now you see more of a battle. You know what I mean? So, but still, they need to like extend that to even Walmart or something, and then see if they can shake things up a bit. I'm pretty sure they might have something in place I'm not aware of. But just a thought. But T-Rex, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna probably start either using Steam or Amazon at this point if this continues, because I don't mind them talking to me. I don't mind them trying to like get me to pre-order stuff. But don't lie to me saying that one game is here when it's not. That goes beyond what is considered trying to market to someone. That's just lying at that point.
Caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Yes, sir.
You know they're shady, so you got to be on your guard when you go to those places.
Yeah, I don't have any sort of like cards or anything like that, or any sort of people that I know anymore. So this sort of thing is going to affect me if they want to start doing this in my area. I don't know if they already have. And if that's the case, I will take my business elsewhere. It's just that GameStop is the quickest place for me to go right now.
Yeah, I'm in Circuit City too. They're blazing. Circuit City was good.
Circuit City
and CompUSA was good too back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember that fire sale. You remember that fire sale, Alex, where you got the TV?
Yeah, I got the Samsung that they ended up destroying while I was away. It is all gravy. But with that being said, it's just buyers beware. If you're a video game enthusiast, like, you just have to be mindful of what you're consuming. Like, just be smart buyers. Like, on your knees, T-Rex, myself, and the rest of the crew. Like, we're very cautious. And just be aware, because it's the mom and pops like buying games for their little kids. Like, I want it, and they'll just buy anything blindly. The blanket that GameStop has over the unsuspecting is just a shame. But
the amount of GTA 5s I saw go to 10-year-olds is astounding.
Oh, Blazing put something. Hope they close down soon. Just Circuit City, which I'm missing away.
Yeah, that's what I was responding to earlier.
Oh,
with his Circuit City comment.
Okay. Now, with that, I don't want to Dress this on. I think the Destiny thing I'll say for like a PSA.
Yeah, I think we've been at this for an hour, so...
Can I weigh in on this?
Oh, what?
Hey, it's Nelson.
Hey, what's going on, Nelson? Yeah, go ahead.
Let me weigh in on this because I'm a former GameStop employee.
Yeah, it was you and Noop I was referring to pretty much.
Now, this whole little cycle thing that they got going on, yeah, to me, it's like outright fucked up that they're forcing more labor onto their workers to force to sell their used products to consumers and lie about their inventory. For anyone who's an avid GameStop customer, you can straight up go to the store and ask for their inventory. It's not against the law. It's
they used to print it out and have it like at the desk.
Mm-hmm. Normally, I would go on the phone while I'm there to check the inventory myself.
Yeah, but the thing is like, if you're there in person and you ask for inventory sheet of what they have to give it to you. It's like within their fine guidelines. And if they're not willing to do it, you can contact corporate and tell them like such and such store is not meeting customer requirements, blah, 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 and you can get them in trouble, which will cause them to have less workers, they'll get less pay, and, you know, lead to layoffs. But it's outright fucked up. They can't lie to someone just because that they're trying to improve on their used market sale, which is not gonna win because your mom and pop shops are destroying GameStop as we speak right now when it comes to used games, old school games, retro games, and all of GameStop's retro stuff is done online, and it's not guaranteed for 100% working.
Yeah, like the Nintendo stuff, like they were gonna start selling retro items. They didn't even carry it in the store. Like they had to mail the stuff out to you. And on the thing with the mom and pops, GameStop was deliberate. Not too far from me, Elizabeth, New Jersey. They had Toy and Game Land down on Broad Street, and then they opened a GameStop right across the street. And from what I'm hearing, that Toy and Game Land may be closing. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, like that place had a bunch of imports, all kinds of like specialty items that, you know, like Shinwar and DeMizzle used to get while we were in Essex County picking up some titles. It's like, you know, they got some of those niche titles, like Video Games New York, but it was like in Jersey, you know? So to
you gotta support your local stores, people.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So for the sake of time, I'm gonna start shutting everything down. I want to thank everybody for participating. I know it's more like a PSA based thing today, but you know, some news is some news. But yeah, just going around the table, starting with T-Risk. Any closing remarks?
No, not today. I don't have anything today. I'm not whoever that says good things about the day.
All right, cool.
Did you cut the stream, Alex?
No, I put it on intermission because.
Okay, all right.
No, we're still alive.
Okay, I'm just checking. I saw the animation screen come up. That's all.
Yeah, because I have to update that one because it was too late. I just caught it, but yeah. All right, on your knees. Any final remarks?
I'll be doing the For Honor stream probably about an hour or so. I'll be doing that if anyone wants to join in. I got nothing else right now.
Okay.
Other than what was it?
Okay, detailed instructions. As soon as you're done with that stream, please upload it. Like I want to see.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Okay, so because that game looks pretty.
I just gotta make sure. Do I have the Newgamingorder login?
More varied than you expect them to be.
What's that again?
It is fun. It's just characters are more varied than you expect them to be.
Yeah. I think I wish you were on that segment, T-Riz. It was good stuff. I spent some time on there, but you know. All right, and okay, and Mugen, any closing remarks? I know you kind of came in towards the end.
Yeah, I just woke up. That's why. Yeah, just stay tuned. We'll have more stuff featured on the show, and just support what you think is a good cause. If you think GameStop is going out of control, stop going. And they're forced to rechange their decisions. That's how companies work, guys. The consumer helps the company make better decisions.
Vote with your wallet. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, Newgamingorder. We out like the juggernaut bitch with the head crush from Pimp Smack. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time on the Newgamingorder podcast show. We might be adding an extra podcast day, which will be more easy for me to manage. because not every Saturday I'm here, but when I am here, just know a show will be on. Alright, so I will see you guys next time. Shout out to Blazing and Slinky and all those who are on the chat. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.